Hey everyone, Prue is with me today and we're going to go over our sit front recall, which we'll oftentimes also refer to as our formal recall. And what this means is we're going to have our dogs come to us and stop and sit directly in front of us. To achieve this behavior, we're going to start really small and we're going to use our food to help get a good placement. So when I think about my food in my hand, I want to make sure that I hold it directly in front of me. I like to bring both of my hands together because I feel like it helps me stay centered with the food. So if we can keep our food centered in front of us, our dogs are going to be more likely to sit in front of us. If you hold the food to the side, that's where they're going to go, that's where they're going to sit. We want them directly in front of us, so let's keep the food in front of us. The other thing we need to think about is the height of our food. So I'm lucky, Prue's pretty tall. I only have to go to right about here to get the food at her nose height. That's what you want to do no matter the size of your dog. You want to try to have that food at their nose height. So if you have a shorty, you're going to have to get way down here with it. This is something we're doing in the beginning. It's not something that we're going to keep doing forever. It's just until we have established the sit front behavior. So we want to think about food centered in front of us at our dog's nose height. Once we do that, we're going to say our dog's sit front word. I use here with Prue, and then we're going to move back in a straight line. In the beginning, keep this really short. So maybe you're going back about 3 to 5 steps maximum on this, because what we want to be able to do here is say our dog's sit front word and then follow through in a timely fashion. If we keep moving back for 10, 20 steps on this, we're going to throw our timing off. They're not really going to associate the word that we said in the beginning with the end of the behavior. So we're going to make our presentation. We're going to say our word. We'll move back. This is just like what we've talked about with sit and down. So we're going to give that command, follow through with the help if they need it, and this is the beginning. So of course they're going to need that help. Once we get them on that sit, we're going to mark it. We'll release them, we'll move away, they'll get their treat or their toy. So when we move back, what we want to make sure we're doing is we're moving back with the food at our dog's nose height. And when we come to a stop, bring them in nice and close. So if the food's out here, you're going to bring them in nice and close with that food and then stand up straight. That should guide them right into that sit directly in front of you. You'll mark it, good, and then you'll release and treat. Free. Now, I use good for my positive marker. I use free for my release word. Use the words that work best for you and your dog. Just be consistent with them. Now, this is easier if you start with your dog on a sit, but you don't necessarily have to do that. So let's say they were sniffing the floor or something. The same principle is going to apply. Food goes at their nose. You're going to say your word here. Move back 3 to 5 steps in a straight line. Stop. Stand up straight, and that should guide your dog into the sit. Now, I didn't get the sit here, so I'm just going to go again. Here. Good. Free. Good job. The other thing I want to keep in mind with this is when I come to the stop and I get that sit, I want to return my hands to my side just so my dog's not learning to only come when I hold my hands like this. So I'm going to show them just this neutral posture before we release. We talked about do the pause on our stays when we return to the side. It's a similar concept here. So we'll get them into that position, we'll do our pause, and then we'll release and treat. Free? Okay, let me change the angle this time, so hopefully that's here. Good. Free. Once your dog understands that concept, you can start adding distance, meaning you'll move back more than 5 steps before you stop and have them sit. Once your dog understands their sit state and or their down state independently of any recall work, you can pair those together. So you want to work your sit state separately from your recall. Work your down state separately from your recall. When your dog is understanding both concepts, you can pair them together. So let's try that. We'll do our sit here. Good. like with help? Ultimately, where we're going, if we have good timing with our sequencing, just like we talked about, command, give your help if your dog needs it, mark it, release, and reinforce. If we have good presentation and good timing with that, we'll get to the point where we can take that help out. So let's try one of those now to see what it looks like. Time out for a scratch here. Come on, Chris. Sit. Good. Here. Good. Pretty. So right, without any help or any coaxing, she came and sat in front. You start small, start by having your dog move with you, and then you build up to that. Hopefully this will help you get started on your formal or your sit front recall work. Like everything else, work progressively. So work on building up distance that they follow you, and then once your stays are good, work on being able to call them to you from a distance. Do that with both your sit and your down position. We appreciate you joining us for this video, and have a great day.